Well, good evening, OCPS families. We are so excited you could join us this evening. My name is Victoria Tierney. I'm the Senior Administrator for Parent and Family Engagement, and we welcome you tonight for another one of our secondary education workshops or presentations in the set of the series that we've been doing all year. And this one, we are excited to welcome Latasha Graham, who is the Assistant Director of Outreach and Recruitment for Valencia College. Welcome, Latasha. It's so good to have you tonight.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you all.
Well, I am definitely a strong proponent and a big fan of Valencia. It has been a wonderful opportunity. I have four boys, and two of our four boys definitely made the most of the programs and the opportunities that Valencia presented. So I'm really excited for you to be able to share that with families tonight. So whenever you're ready, please let our families know all the wonderful opportunities at Valencia College.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Victoria. It's a pleasure again. And your boys did great by following that path. My son did the same. So, not only talking about it, I also lived through this. So, I hope I'm going to be able to be a resource to the parents this evening. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all again for joining us this evening for our virtual Parent Academy. As mentioned, my name is Latasha Graham. I serve as one of the assistant directors for outreach and recruitment. And we're going to share a lot of information this evening. So I would encourage you to grab a pen, a pencil, a notepad, your phone, the Notes app, whichever you choose as a format or device to take notes, because I do like to make sure that at the end of the presentations that I facilitate, that you have some resources to look into and maybe some action items, steps to take that you maybe weren't aware of before this session. So we're going to go ahead and get started. With Valencia College, we are definitely one of the second largest community colleges in the state of Florida. There are 28 community colleges in the state of Florida. We are one of the second largest. We have 68,000 students at Valencia College, believe it or not. So we are serving students in a multitude of different ways amongst all of our campuses that you'll learn about in a little bit as we go through our presentation. But just to show you the magnitude of who we are and kind of how we facilitate and structure our campuses for the best learning environments for our students. First, we like to start off with a little fun, a little trivia. So what would you think the minimum GPA required for acceptance to Valencia College is? We do have a chat. You can feel free to participate and put some fun answers in the chat if you like. But there, of course, is no prize for this right now. The prize is definitely you being here this evening. After work, we know that you have other things that you could have been doing tonight, but I'm thankful that you came to learn a little bit more about Valencia and how it could be of service to your family or to your student and to your child. So the question is kind of a trick question, actually. We have no minimum GPA for acceptance to Valencia College. We accept all students who have a high school diploma, a GED, and even a certificate of completion. So students that are coming to Valencia College, no matter where they're at in their life, from high school, or if they're coming in and they already have some college credits, we are not looking at GPA. We want students to know that they can start anywhere and go anywhere from Valencia College. So there's no minimum GPA required as long as you have a high school diploma or GED. As Valencia College, we are an open access institution. We want our students to know that they're able to actually apply at any term, whether it be fall, spring, or summer, as well as knowing that we measure our success by who we include and not who we exclude. We are looking at students from all different demographics and different backgrounds, which is why we don't consider GPA for admission to Valencia College. We want to see the holistic student that we're admitting, to see the potential that they have and where they would like to go with that potential. Accreditation is very important to us as well. We want to make sure that our students are employable at the point of graduation. So their company or corporation is looking upon them prestigiously, as well as the transfer credits that they may attain that they want to take to the next institution to obtain their bachelor's degree. We want accreditation to follow them so they know that they came from a nationally recognized institution. Valencia College received the Aspen Prize Award, which means that we were the #1 community college, which is a Community College of Excellence Award back in, I believe it was 2013, 2014. And this award basically just says that we were doing a phenomenal job retaining our students, the academic quality that we provide our students, because we do pride ourselves on the quality of our education, but at affordable price. Another trivia, give you a little hint, which 2 counties in Central Florida does Valencia College have campuses located in? Little pause. We're in one now, of course, Orange County. And then the other is Osceola. We have 10 campus locations with Valencia College. So we have a campus that's convenient for the student to learn close to home, or close to maybe if they have a part-time job while they're at Valencia College, or they're taking possibly dual enrollment courses that we'll talk about in a moment. But the 10 campus locations that we offer are convenient throughout Orange and Osceola County. In addition to the 10 campus locations, all Valencia College students receive a Valencia ID when they're a student that allows them free transportation on the Lynx bus system. So that gets their students to where they need to go in case they don't have a vehicle. Out of the 10 campus locations, we do have 7 locations that provide the general education programs or courses. That's our English courses, math courses, humanities and science, our core academic courses that students would need in order to obtain an associate's degree or transfer for their bachelor's degree. Now, with those 7 out of the 10, the other 3 are what we call advanced manufacturing centers or accelerated skills training centers, where we offer certifications from School of Public Safety to the other centers where we offer welding courses, truck driving. So we're going to get into the breakdown of all of our programs and what we have to offer at Valencia. And one of the more unique campuses that you'll see here on the screen is our downtown campus. Our downtown campus is unique because it is a shared campus with UCF and Valencia College. That means the students are learning together in the same spaces. It is also the only campus that offers housing. So if a student is looking to live in the dorms, they would be looking only at the downtown campus as a Valencia College student. Now, with that said, we like to make sure that you're also aware that there are campuses that we highlight certain programs. So East Campus, we do highlight arts and entertainment. So film and production and sound and music technology and digital media and whatnot. And then you have West Campus over on the Kirkman side, where we offer our health sciences and our STEM program. But again, general education courses can be taken at any of the 7 of the 10 campuses. So let's go ahead and talk about those programs a little bit more in depth. Now, there's a certain pathway that all students have at Valencia. Remember, to be admitted to Valencia, all you need is a high school diploma. So there's no GPA required. So there are students who are going to want to start in AST. AST stands for Accelerated Skills Training. That is the programs that I was briefly just speaking about, such as welding or truck driving, robotics, medical office assistant. These are certifications. And as parents, we want you to know as well, maybe it's your time to go to school as well. Maybe you would like to pursue some of these careers or certifications that we're offering. We're open institution and open access. Now, as far as AST certifications, you can finish those as short as 28 weeks. Our truck driving or CDL program is only 4 weeks long. Welding is 28 weeks. So very, very short. If you would like to go into an associate's, which is our more popular pathway for students, we have the AA, Associate in Arts, and the AS, Associate in Science. These 2 different degree pathways prepare our students for the workforce, or if they would like to transfer into a university to pursue their bachelor's. Valencia College also has bachelor degrees, if you did not know. We have about 6 bachelor degrees that we'll also break down and talk about. We are not a 4-year institution by any means, but there are 4 or 6 bachelor degrees that we offer, that we're able to offer because of the magnitude and the demand and the need. Our associate in arts degree pathways. So what we call these are meta majors. Meta majors are considered as clusters, if you will. If you have an arts and humanities, communication and design, so students can go into anything in this area and they can pursue their general education courses, prerequisite courses, and then transfer to the university of their choice. Of course, we'll talk about our partnership university, which is UCF, in a little bit, but students can also transfer to any other Florida state public institution with their AA degree, as well as out of state. So if they would like to go to FSU or FAMU or USF, those institutions are also eligible for transfer for students who are pursuing their AA because general education credits are transferable and accredited, just like our AS degree that we'll talk about in a moment. There's also business, education, social behavioral sciences, public safety, and STEM. So there's many different areas. One of our more unique areas of our AA program is architecture. We actually have a 6-year program that's in partnership with UCF and University of Florida for architecture at Valencia. It is the 2+2+2 program. 2 years at Valencia, architecture and associative arts, another 2 years with UCF for the Bachelor's of Science in Architecture. And then the last 2 years is in Master's with University of Florida. And you do that all here in Orlando. You do not relocate to Gainesville. You don't even have to go to the UCF campus. It's all within the Valencia West and downtown campus. So pretty unique programs that we offer within our Associate of Arts. We have our Associate of Science. This is our other pathway that students are able to take. This is going to be a more career skilled, hands-on learning type environment where if they want to go into film production, they're learning the set, the stage, the lighting. If they want to go into engineering, they're learning about laser and photonics, 3D printing. The classrooms are not normal classrooms. They're studios, as you see on the picture here. They're actual equipment that they get to train, touch, and feel that they're empowered to actually be employed, and hopefully not just be employed at entry level, but managerial level when they graduate from Valencia College. We do have a 96% job placement rate at Valencia. We have career centers at all of our campus locations to make sure that our students feel prepared upon before graduation, honestly, to make sure that they even have an internship before graduation and maybe are offered a full-time job. So we take pride in making sure our students have access to career fairs and companies and corporations that want to hire them. So going into nursing, which is our health science, our hospitality and culinary, or even our public services and legal services that we have as well. Many different options. We like to say about 135 or more. Here are our bachelor degree pathways. There, as I mentioned, are 6. We do have a Bachelor of Applied Science in Business and Organizational Leadership. We like to call that as an acronym baseball. And then also there's the Bachelor of Applied Science in Computing Technology and Software Development, Electrical and Computer Engineering Technology, Cardiopulmonary Science, nursing. Yes, we have a bachelor's in nursing, and then radiologic and imaging sciences. So students can not only just attain their associate of science or AA in areas at Valencia, but they can continue in certain areas if they want to in a bachelor's. Here are the breakdown that we have for our AST, Accelerated Skills Training Program. Our Accelerated Skills Training programs, as I mentioned, the longest is going to be the 28-week program, which is welding. Other than that, we have CDL truck driving as short as 2 to 4 weeks. We have a robotics technician, carpentry, medical office assistant. We also have an Accelerated Skills Training Employment Placement team. So we have employers who are ready to hire students upon graduation to make sure that those students feel like their certification is immediately being put to use based on the skills and the training that they received. We also have language programs at Valencia College for students who might primarily speak another language other than English. So if they're looking to learn English, we have programs for students who need to go into that program as well, from Spanish speakers to Creole speakers. We welcome all students that have other primary language, native languages, to come to Valencia College if you need this assistance. Direct Connect to UCF. This partnership was formed in 2006. It actually started off where we had regional campuses that you see here on the screen in bullet number 2. Regional campuses at West, East, and Osceola basically meant that we provided a space for Direct Connect staff members called success coaches to actually have an office, see our students, advise our students on the Valencia campuses. So not only can our Valencia College students talk to their Valencia advisors about, am I on the right path? Am I taking the right courses? But they can walk to the next building on the same campus and talk to the UCF Direct Connect office and say, all right, I'm looking to transfer. Am I on the right path? And also have a faster transfer opportunity to make sure that they are guaranteed admission. We can say they are guaranteed admission to the institution of UCF. However, if they're applying to a limited access program, such as, let's say, nursing, we cannot guarantee that they'll be immediately allowed access into the program, but they are allowed and granted access into the institution. But hopefully, based on their general education, and their prerequisites that they completed, they'll be able to get into the program as well with no problem. But this is a great partnership that actually, what you see now today as the downtown campus, was built in 2019. So it's our newest campus downtown. So that partnership from 2006 to regional campuses and now a shared campus is really a pride of our partnership. Now the classes have ended, and we want to make sure that students know that we know that there is a time that you want to feel engaged with the students that you learn with in a fun way. We also know that success for a student to be retained at a college is largely attributed to how well they feel that they belong at that institution outside of the classroom. So we love to make sure that students are aware we have over 180 clubs and organizations they can join. We have fun activities that they can participate in, from International Week to Week of Welcome. We have so many different opportunities. We recently have uh, designated and recognized ourselves as the Pumas. If you're not familiar with our new mascot, it is Percy the Puma. So you'll find Puma days everywhere around campus. We also have Student Government Association for students who are like to advocate for their peers. They like to make sure that they're in spaces where they're speaking on behalf of things that the students need. And we also have UFIT. So that is for students who might want to get into sports in an intramural format. Study abroad is also a great opportunity for students who would like to travel around the country. Hopefully, they get to travel on scholarship because usually there's some scholarships involved in being able to do these study abroad programs. But you can go to all different types of countries while you're earning your class credit, maybe like a 10-day trip with your classmates and your chaperones, and just really learn. And then work study is a great opportunity that I love to make sure that students and parents are aware of. It is an opportunity that when you're filling out the FAFSA application, seniors are asked about, are you interested in work study? And this is one that I always say, put yes, because you can have a position possibly on the college that you're attending. You don't have to work past 5 p.m. because the college is usually, or the student services are usually closed by 5. No weekend hours. Your supervisor is really cool because they know you're a Valencia student. So it's a really good opportunity for students to just really get some work experience, but in a great work environment. And then Valencia volunteers, if they would just like to be involved and engaged and um, have fun with their peers. So that's just a breakdown of a little bit of fun. You can see some things in the photos that we have, even down to Spirit Day. Our student services are even more important than the fun, I would say, because we want our students to feel that they have the support they need. Life is a roller coaster. We know that things will happen as they're going throughout their journey of college. So we are aware that we need to have these support services in place for students at all of our campuses. We do have these support services in place for free for our students as well. There's no fee or anything attached to the students being able to receive these services. It's just a part of their basic tuition services that they receive. So OSD is the Office for Students with Disabilities. If a student has a 504 plan or IEP, they're able to receive confidential advising services from our OSD office. We office also has the Academic Advising Office for students who need to maybe figure out what major they would like to pursue or program. They're not sure. Students are often undecided in college, and that's okay. At Valencia, we call undecided exploratory. So you just do your basic general education, AA, and then transfer to the university. And maybe by that time, when you transfer, you'll be selecting a program. But that's perfectly fine. But academic advising is there to also help with registration and just those courses to make sure that you're on the right path for your program and for graduation. Tutoring, it is so imperative to know that the students can go for tutoring before they feel like they are completely failing or struggling. We have tutoring from math, writing, psychology, science, all different types of tutors. And we also encourage students, if they're really good in a subject, they can be a work study tutor. So they can be employed in the tutoring offices as a tutor if that's really a strong subject for them. Counseling is also available to make sure that they're not stressed, they're not going through anxiety, anything that they could be battling with that they need to talk about. Our career centers that I mentioned, that 96% job placement rate that they really focus on. Campus safety is pivotal as well. We have campus security amongst all of our campuses 24/7. And then the free Links bus ride that I mentioned before that students have the access to just with their Valencia ID. I hope you're still with me. I hope you're still taking notes. Let's go ahead and keep going. Let's talk about the cost. So, remember the quality education with an affordable cost. So, our breakdown of tuition is kind of in this graphic format that you see here. Tommy, he decided to attend a public university where he is going to pay $6,000 per year because he's taking his university courses, general education. Jackie, on the other hand, she attended Valencia College and she actually is going to be paying $3,000 per year. General education courses, same classes as Tommy, but half the cost. To obtain an associate's degree, you need to obtain 60 credits, 60. Those 60 credits, whether I go to a university or to a community college, are going to be the same classes: English, science, math, humanities, and so forth. The only difference between me getting those general education courses at a university versus a community college is the price. So why not start at Valencia College where you can actually get half of the price? And what's really the cool thing is the total price that Tommy's paying is the full price of an associate's at Valencia. If Tommy's paying 6,000, the full price of an associate's at Valencia is 6,000 because it's $3,000 per year. We don't like to say it's a 2-year degree because associates can take however long is based on the student. If they want to take the classes part-time, full-time, if they want to take fall, spring, and summer, or if they would like to take a semester off, however the pace of the student wants to be, we want to encourage that. But 60 credits is the goal to obtain the associate's degree. Now, I can obtain an associate's degree if I am in the 6th grade through 11th grade. Yes, 6th through 11th grade. And I have a 3.0 GPA. And I have reached the specific scores required for assessment in this magnificent program we call dual enrollment. I highly encourage every parent and student to look into it, if not anything. My son personally was a dual enrollment student at Valencia College. He started in his sophomore year of high school. He just fought with me because he was a football player, and he's like, I'm gonna miss football practice, and I don't know, and I don't know. And I said, well, at least if you can't do full time, do part-time dual enrollment, and let's see where it goes. So we did part-time dual enrollment courses, and he ended up graduating with 46 college credits. Remember, he needed to get to 60. So even 46 free college credits was worth it to me, because when he graduated from high school and went to the university down in Miami, FIU, he was able to graduate in at least about 3 to 3.5 years versus 4, because he did dual enrollment. This is an amazing program for students who want to get a head start if they would like to make sure that they can earn a high school diploma concurrently at the same time as earning college credits. I will also say they have to take it seriously, because the grade they earn in dual enrollment college courses will follow them after high school. So it is very important. Now, they're only allowed to take the general education courses, such as those core academic courses, but they are offered in different platforms, from in person to online. And the QR code, as you see, is here on the screen if you would like to scan that. The QR code is there because dual enrollment is in season right now. The dual enrollment application is currently open, taking applications for students who are interested in applying. It also, and I'm going to make sure that you end on time tonight, because dual enrollment is having a virtual live session at 7 p.m. tonight. So if you scan the QR code, you go to their website, you'll see February the 7th, you can register. Now, if you can't make it for the one that they're having tonight at 7 o'clock, they are having another one, I believe, next week on the 13th, and then another one after that. So it is very important just to go to hear the information, ask your questions. I believe in the chat, if you have any questions, we might even have a special guest. The senior director of dual enrollment might be here with us this evening. But I do want to make sure that you understand that this value of Tommy and Jackie, what we just saw on the previous screen, dual enrollment is giving you free courses. So that $3,000 is being knocked off every course that they take by taking dual enrollment courses. So it is a great opportunity just to get in early and get those college courses. So maybe if they graduated senior year, they'll have a high school diploma and an associate's degree. So they're actually walking the stage, going directly to their junior year at the university at 18 years old, which is pretty cool. Also, to show you the value of receiving our associate's degree at just $6,000, this is just a quick breakdown of the meal plan cost at these universities per semester. So these universities, of course, have to have a meal plan because they have a lot of housing, and the students have to eat on campus. But per semester, this is the cost. Versus at the bottom, you see for 15 credit hours at Valencia, you're getting for $1,500. So still very, very valuable for what you're receiving at Valencia College. And to be a full-time student at Valencia per semester, all you need is 12 credits per semester, which is equivalent to 4 courses. Let's break up. That's a lot of information. I hope you were able to at least see the value that we like to make sure our parents maybe not aware of, and our students aren't aware of, right in their backyard here in Orlando. So does it matter when you apply for financial aid? I know they just recently changed the date on us. So I definitely would say it matters. The pot of money is this big when you're applying to financial aid as a senior, and then it just dwindles down the later you keep waiting. So as soon as it opens up, you want to make sure that you apply for financial aid. A third of Valencia College students do not pay anything for our courses because we're so inexpensive for our courses and tuition. Financial aid can take about 6 to 8 weeks to process. So we always tell students, if you know Valencia is even possibly one of your choices that you would like to go to college with us, just put it down on the FAFSA. You can put down multiple different colleges. I believe maybe 7 to 10 different colleges. Just make Valencia College one of those choices. So when you're thinking of possibly enrolling with us, that the money will be directed to the proper institution. But give yourself time to apply to FAFSA. So don't wait on FAFSA, apply to FAFSA as soon as possible, and take advantage of the FAFSA nights that you'll have within your high schools or within the areas that we have in Orlando. Now, FAFSA is one way that you can get money and funding to go to Valencia College, of course, but internally, Valencia College has scholarships. So we want to make sure that you're aware that these scholarships are for students once they are ready to come in and be an incoming freshman. So please make sure you write these resources down. The first one is Scholarship Universe. Scholarship Universe is a scholarship that has no GPA requirement. It will allow a student to put in their name, information, answer a quick question, kind of in an essay format, and then it will match to see which scholarships they're eligible for. This is a live screenshot of a student who was matched to 107 scholarships. In the second funnel, you can see that the student applied to 3 of 107 scholarships. So we want the students to know there's a multitude of money available for you to have at Valencia. And if you don't need it at Valencia, a lot of scholarships allow you to transfer the monies over into the next institution if you continue on in your bachelor's, for example. So this is one of those opportunities that we want students to know about. The next step with Valencia College is actually making sure that the student applies with us. It is a $35 application online for Valencia. We are currently in all of the high schools throughout Orange County pursuing application workshops with the College and Career Center specialist. So if you have not seen us, or if your student is a senior and they're like, I haven't applied to Valencia, or I haven't been to an app workshop, please connect with us. We are providing fee waivers for our application. Our application is normally $35, and we provide a $35 fee waiver for the students. We make sure that they feel congratulatory with this Percy the Puma, of course, swag. And then, of course, we congratulate them when decision day comes later on in the spring, and make sure that they know that we are excited to see them come to Valencia College. We, of course, want to encourage you to follow us if you're on social media at Instagram. You can also reach out to us if you have any questions. But at this time, I would, of course, like to leave the floor for any questions that you might have about Valencia. Not sure if I can have if they can come off mute or ask any questions, but I'm so open in here to make sure that you feel prepared and you're aware of what we have. And again, dual enrollment will be having a virtual live session at 7 p.m. tonight. So we want to make sure that if you would like to attend that session, that you have time. Thank you all
Well,
so much for your time.
I was going to say, Latasha, thank you. That was just a tremendous amount of information, and we're so appreciative. I do have some questions that were coming up in the chat. So, at one point, it did look like they were saying that the dual enrollment virtual session might have been at 6, but to go ahead and apply for to register for the next session.
Oh, it
And
was. I'm sorry. It did
it's
start at
okay,
6.
but that's okay. The link got dropped in the chat. But also with dual enrollment, there were a couple questions. Someone was asking, can you apply for dual enrollment if you're a junior
Yes, dual
in high
enrollment is
school?
open. Yes, dual enrollment is open to students from 6th through 11th grade. So if you're a junior in high school, they could apply right now while the application is currently open. So they can hopefully be taking their dual enrollment courses while they're a senior next year. And
Perfect. And then,
my apologies about the time. I had it so mixed up.
oh no, that's okay. Our families understand and they actually got the information, so that's great. Also, someone had asked in terms of juniors in high school, do you know if they can apply for the FAFSA or do you have to wait till your senior year?
You do have to wait for your senior year to apply for FAFSA, only because it's government aid that they're providing for a student to take college courses. The reason they don't have to apply for FAFSA for dual enrollment is because it's paid for by the state, so FAFSA isn't needed. But once they graduate from high school, FAFSA, they're eligible for the government or state funding.
Thank you. That's very helpful. And then this is a rather specific question, but someone had said, if you have someone who, I guess, got is in the architectural program and finishes the architectural program through dual enrollment and
Yeah.
finishes with an associate's degree, how does the Bright Futures and the Florida Prepay work with that? If you're finishing so early, can that money then be applied to advanced degrees?
Yes. So if you're going through the 2+2+2 architecture program, normally FAFSA will fund, if they're FAFSA eligible, or scholarships will fund their time in obtaining the associates at Valencia. Bright Futures and Florida Prepaid can go into funding that as well if they need the funding, but if it's not needed, normally Bright Futures or Florida Prepaid will just continue their funding into their bachelor's level of junior senior year. And I'm not sure about the master's level, to be honest, if it continues into the advanced degrees, but I do know it does continue into the bachelor's level. The master's level, I would think so if there's money still there, but I don't want to assume on the advanced level of the master's level for the for that for Bright Futures or for Florida Prepaid.
Thank you so much. Also, we've got some families that are saying, look, my child is in a magnet program, so there's really not time during the school year to try and do dual enrollment. Are there any opportunities for the summertime? Like, could they do something during the summertime in terms of dual enrollment?
Yes, dual enrollment does allow students to take courses in the summer. For dual enrollment, I believe for their first, I believe for their first semester. So if they apply, I believe their first semester is not allowed to be summer. I believe it has to be a regular term because fall and spring is 16 weeks long. Summer term is 6 weeks long. So I believe, if I'm not sure if they've changed this, so don't quote me on this, but I do believe their first semester is not allowed to be summer just so they can get acclimated for their first term. But after that, they can take summer term courses for dual enrollment. And we have two summer terms at Valencia. We have summer term A and summer term B. So if a student is starting dual enrollment, let's say they're 10th grade and they're now starting dual enrollment, they could actually take summer term A and B and I'm sorry, not A and B. They can take B. A starts in May, so they're still in high school during that time, but B starts end of June. So summer term B would be their 6 week that they could probably get in 6 weeks of courses. It's still the 3 credit regular course, it just goes by at a more condensed set time of six
Right.
weeks. So they do have to be prepared. It might be a little faster, but they can knock out summer and summer term B courses at the end of June. And maybe it goes like end of June to maybe end of July, something like that.
Thank you. We have a lot of questions about dual enrollment. Is there any possibility you are able to drop a link in the chat for that dual enrollment? I believe they're asking to sign up for dual enrollment. I know we
Okay,
have a
let's see if I can go back to the QR code.
right. Some people are watching on their phone, so they're not able to actually scan and
Oh,
watch.
okay, no problem. Let's see if I don't know if I have access to do the chat. Let's see.
Well, I can see if I can also pull it up.
Yeah, if wonder how I can send it to you. For some reason my chat is disabled.
Oh,
Um yeah, I'm not able to see.
okay. Well, let me see if I can go ahead
But
and.
if you type in I can give you the website.
Yep, I've got it. I'll drop in the link for the
Okay, perfect.
website.
Thank you.
And then that way, if you go to the link for the website, all the information, including being able to apply for dual enrollment, is in the website. It is there. I
Yeah.
also wanted, go ahead.
I was going to say, yes, when you go to the website, you'll see There are virtual session dates provided. Again, my apologies for getting the time wrong for tonight, but the next one is on the 13th. And then you'll see a little bit more as you scroll down on the dual enrollment page. There are the dates. So the application deadline is coming up on February 28th. I just wanted to make sure that you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page just to make sure that you see the fall 24 deadline. And then there's also a dual enrollment application on our website. I'm not sure if I can,
I just dropped the link to the application in the
perfect.
chat.
Awesome.
So that should be there. Someone was also asking the steps for dual enrollment approval again, like what do they need to have in order to be approved for dual enrollment?
As far as the requirements for dual enrollment,
I think that's what they mean. What would be the steps for them to be approved for dual enrollment? Yes, the requirements.
okay. So they have to live in Orange or Osceola County. They have to be registered in an Orange or Osceola County public or charter school or homeschool. They have to have a 3.0 unweighted GPA. They must be in 6th through 11th grade. And if they're currently rising going to 12th grade, a 3.0 weighted GPA.
Okay. And then someone was saying they wanted to know, are these courses as rigorous as an AP class?
Um, I don't want to be biased or unbiased on that answer. As a parent of a dual enrollment student, I would say no. Only because in my opinion, I believe there's still rigorous courses, but the end result is not as consequential as AP. AP is pass or fail, in my opinion, as far as the exam, and if it counts for college credit, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So that put, in my opinion, pressure on my son. That I personally was like, I'm not sure, if this is gonna. So when we did dual enrollment, it was a little still rigorous. Yes, the studying is required. You still have to follow the syllabus. It is a college course, so your professor doesn't, take it easy because you're in high school. As far as rigor, however, the end result of making sure that the grade was there, I knew that he was going to get a B average or higher, versus AP. I wasn't sure at the end of the exam if we were going to get that credit or if we were going to get the course to count for college credit. It was
Right.
up in the air with a little bit more anxiety, if you will. And that's just as a parent speaking. So I took off my Valencia hat just for a second.
No, I
But
think
yes,
that's important.
yeah.
You are a parent speaking to parents, and our parents really are committed to making sure that they're supporting their child's academic journey as best they can. And someone has asked, what is the deadline again for applying? They just want to make sure that they have it.
February 28th.
Okay, I can even
Mhm.
put that in the chat. So February 28th is the deadline for applying to the dual enrollment.
Yes, so dual enrollment has an application that you have to submit that is due on February 28th. That's the deadline. And
Okay.
then once the application is submitted, the second part or second phase is the testing. So they do have to submit either PERT, ACT, or SAT tests. Not
Okay.
all three, but one of the three. And that there's a different deadline for the test score to be submitted. So the application, though, has to be submitted by February 28th.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if our senior director of dual enrollment is here on the call. She might jump in the chat. I'm not sure. But in case you see someone start typing, it might be her. But she's definitely probably excited, as I'm going to share with her, that there was a lot of engagement and interest in dual enrollment because we've been trying to make sure that we spread the word about her virtual sessions that she's having to get more students to register for dual enrollment and take advantage of this great opportunity.
Well, and speaking of the great opportunity, we just want to clarify for Sam. It says dual enrollment is free for high school students. Is that for any class?
Yes, it's for all general education courses. So
Okay.
they can't take electives in yoga and get a free course. So it's only general education core courses such as the science, math, English. We try to make sure that they can only take those general academic core courses because some students will choose not to continue at Valencia after dual enrollment in high school. They want to keep going to a university, and that's great. And we want those courses to be transferable to the university if they choose to keep going elsewhere after high school. So they're only limited to taking those general education core courses that we know will be transferable into the universities if they choose to keep going.
Awesome. And Alania Castillo is here in the chat. So we do appreciate that, and we
Yay!
welcome,
Special
yes, we
guest.
welcome all those all the information. Someone was also asking, is the requirement that they have to pass the PERT? They don't. I understand they can take it again, but through Valencia, can you explain how that works? But you said
Yes,
it wasn't just the PERT. They could do ACT and they could also do SAT, correct? Correct?
yeah, they can. They can do ACT, SAT, or PERT. They can retake. They have an opportunity to retake if they don't pass. There's three sections of the PERT. There's reading, writing, and math. So, for example, I'll use my son again. He took the PERT for dual enrollment. He did not pass the math section. He was off by 1 point. So we went to the tutoring. Remember, we talked about free tutoring at Valencia. We went to the tutoring office on campus in the math department and showed him on the PERT where he was not able to succeed with the question. And they showed him some formats and some tips. And then we retested on the PERT, just the math section only, and he passed that section. And then he was admitted into dual enrollment from there. So
Wonderful.
he didn't have to retake the entire PERT. He just had to retake the section that he was not able to pass the first time.
And for any of the parents that are listening and or watching, please note that the contact information for dual enrollment is in the chat. It's dual enrollment at valenciacollege.edu. So please make sure to reach out. Someone was asking how the schedule works. So will the kids split their time between high school and the Valencia campus? And is it up to the student to make or pick those schedules, or does that get worked out at the high school?
They do have a dual enrollment coordinator. So I believe the dual enrollment coordinators work with each students in a cohort manner to make sure that the courses they are registering for, one, are eligible to be registered for. So they do work with them. As far as the class schedule, I believe the students are eligible to take in-person courses as well as online. So they have the option of virtual if you would like to be a parent who's involved and you're like, I don't have time to drive them to campus, you can take a virtual course. I do believe that if they're 16 years of age and under, there is a requirement for a parent or guardian to be present if they're taking a course on campus. But I will allow Elena to check me on that if that's still not the case. But I do believe at the time, if you're 16 years of age and under on campus, a parent or guardian is supposed to be nearby just for minor purposes. But yes, they have the option of selecting their schedule based on what works for their schedule, Monday through Friday, evening courses, online, in person. But they just have to be the general education core courses, which the dual enrollment coordinator, again, will work with those students as they're registering for courses.
Perfect. And Elena is saying if it's 15 years and younger, you will need an adult on campus.
Oh, 15. Okay.
So, and that the deadline to submit test scores is April 12th. I just want to make sure if anyone isn't really watching the chat that they have that. The parent or adult may not attend class with the student, but they do have to be on campus. So she wanted to make sure we clarified that. A lot of really great information. Um, and I'm just checking to see if there are any other questions. Our parents have been highly engaged. We've had a wonderful wonderful group of parents. This has definitely, obviously been something that they really wanted to have information on. So thank you so much for your time this evening
Yeah.
and the help in being able to answer all those questions.
Sure, my pleasure, my pleasure. There is a, I do want to clarify, there is a two-part dual enrollment. There is a dual enrollment at Valencia College, which is the 3.0 GPA higher, you're taking your college general education courses, and then there's the Orange Technical College dual enrollment. So I
Okay.
do want to clarify that because I know some students, we go to the high schools, they're like, I'm in dual enrollment. And I go, are you dual enrollment at Valencia or dual enrollment at Orange Technical College? Because there is a difference. But Orange Technical College dual enrollment students that are pursuing maybe a specific career pathway, we do accept their credits as well into our Associate of Science degree. So some students will come from OTC, if you will, with credits that we accept into our Associate of Science degrees. So just want to make sure that we differentiate the two.
Well, thank you very much. I do think that's important. I am going to ask any of the parents that are still with us, if you've enjoyed this evening, please help us to continue to improve how we meet your needs by completing the brief survey. I did drop the link in the chat. It just helps us to be able to get feedback. And as we continue our planning, it also helps us to be able to meet your needs. Sam is also asking if the dual enrollment course on top of, is that on top of their high school classes? And do they count towards their high school credits?
So no, it actually, the dual enrollment course will take the place of their high school course. So it actually counts for that credit of the high school course. So if they have a let's say an English class that's a high school course and they choose to take dual enrollment and they do English, they are now taking that dual enrollment Valencia English course, and that one course now counts for that high school course. You don't have to take both. That one dual enrollment class will count for that high school course.
Okay. Well, that's helpful. I mean, at some point, while we do want to be able to help our children and our students advance, we also do not want to run them into the ground. We need to make sure
Right.
that they have a balanced life. So
Yes,
that's
yeah.
very helpful.
That was my son's question. He's like, "Do I have to do high school and dual enrollment?" I was like, "No, no, no, no. Once you do you're in dual enrollment, you're now killing two birds with one stone. You're taking care of your high school credit and your college credit in one class."
Awesome. Awesome. If anyone has any other questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. We've got just a few more minutes before we move on, so we want to make sure that everybody's had an opportunity to have their questions answered, and we really appreciate. They're asking if they can access the presentation offline.
I don't think you can access offline, but if you have a registration for tonight, like email addresses possibly?
Yes, we do.
Okay, I can provide them with the information by sending a follow-up email, and you can send back any questions that you may have personally to my email as well.
Awesome. Well, I do, and someone's saying, is there a writing program to the master's program at UC?
Alrighty.
Bridging. Is there a bridging program to the master's program at UCF, I think is what they're asking.
As far as like a bridges, so we have a transfer opportunity. Is that, and maybe that's like the
UCF for
connection?
nursing. So is there a master's program, a bridging program that from Valencia that would take a nursing student into the master's of nursing at UCF?
There isn't, but technically, once the student has obtained their associates, and if they choose to do the bachelor's at Valencia, they nine times out of 10 have a pretty good high chance of being admitted to the master's program at nursing for UCF because of our Direct Connect partnership that we have. But I wouldn't say it's guaranteed only because if there's a limited access, there may be a waiting list for the master's program. So that's the only delay that we never know. We know that admittance to the institution, but as far as into the program, we're never sure, just depending on the term and if the wait list is, long or whatnot. But for most students, they are able to do their associates with Valencia in nursing, their bachelor's with Valencia in nursing, And if they would like to advance to their master's, they usually have a high probability of getting in just because of our partnership with UCF.
Perfect. And do you mind if I drop your email address in the chat?
Sure.
Is
It
that
is,
okay?
yeah. If do you have it or do you need me to?
If you go ahead and give it to me, I'll type it as we speak.
Sure. It's L as in Latasha,
Hmm.
and last name is Graham as in graham cracker. Graham as in Mary. So L Graham, the number 18 at Valencia College .edu.
Perfect. I've got that. It's in there. If you have enjoyed this presentation, I know that Latasha had mentioned we will make sure that we find a way to get the presentation to you offline, and you can certainly reach out to her at that number. Again, I want to extend our deepest thanks for being here. We had a great crowd. Parents, thank
Yeah.
you for taking time to learn how to better support your children's academic journey, and we wish everyone a wonderful evening. Take care.
Thank you.